Hi, this is Rich Gibbons, and we are here with the comedic phenom, unbelievably talented performer, Jeff Civillico. Jeff, good to see you.
Thank you very much, Rich.
I just had the pleasure of, we're here in the Vegas showroom at the Paris.
Yeah.
And which is not, you're a corporate guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is, obviously part of your pedigree. You've done street performing, you've done Vegas, you've got the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours of
right.
time under your belt, and it shows.
Thanks, man. Yeah, this is kind of home base.
Yeah.
Vegas is, as an entertainer or an MC, entertainment based, it's such a phenomenal place to call home.
Right.
Come and go from Las Vegas, having your own show on the Strip.
Yeah.
It's a great way to kind of build a business around. So people like you can come through the show, come through town, see, or potential buyers and bureaus. It's a really nice kind of showcase for me, which I love.
So for those that don't know Jeff's background, I think of him like, we were talking about it earlier, you're like the Swiss Army knife of the conference and meeting. So you can do performances, you can do event hosting, you can MC, there's so many different, but I think the thing that I find every time I see you perform, the thing that I find most compelling is just how comfortable you are in that setting of improvising. And we talked a little bit about event stakeholders who are thrown a total curveball, and you're involved in the production, and you're like, oh my God, we need 13 minutes of filler, and you just go up there and bang,
I love
no
those
problem.
moments. It's kind of a challenge.
No
right?
problem,
So, something went wrong, cool, that's a great time for me to shine. Right?
Exactly.
That's my opportunity to step up and prove my value as a professional, that I can fill that time and actually not even make it seem like it was an issue, but make it seem like that was exactly what was supposed to happen. That's what I love.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and you've got, so we were talking a little earlier about that Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hour thing, and so you started your career like doing some street performing?
I mean, it depends how far back you want to go. So I really started in my kitchen. About 10 years old, doing shows for my grandmother, my parents.
Which is really indicative of the fact it's down in your blood. It's a passion.
It is. I was Jeff the Juggler since I was a very small boy.
Yeah.
And it was always kind of my thing. It was the way I defined myself. Was my identity. I was the performer. And I used to do shows. I would do shows in my kitchen. Then I turned into shows at school, and then shows around the block, and at theme parks and comedy clubs and colleges. I just never stopped performing.
Right.
And the shows got a little bigger from my kitchen, and hopefully a little better.
Yeah.
TBD. And so I was able to kind of get in all those reps, as you're referencing Malcolm Gladwell with 10,000 hours. That now something might seem to be improv to an audience member, but for me, I'm pulling something from way back in some show at Busch Gardens, Tampa, or a Disney cruise or something, because I'm applying it to that moment and that situation. I think that's so key, because you can be a really talented performer, a really talented host, but if you don't have those reps, and especially those reps in the corporate market where things are, it's a little different, right? It's not. We were talking earlier, saying when people come to my Las Vegas show, they're paying. It's a public ticketed show. They're paying to see me.
It's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe, and I can talk about myself, my background, because they're here to support me. At a corporate event, you're fitting into their agenda, and you're fitting into their meeting, and you're trying to focus on them, exactly, their industry, what's going on, the tenor of the room, and if it's 8 a.m. and you're talking to a company that's going through a tough merger, right? That's a very different situation than you're in Vegas, you're partying with your friends, you're coming to a show.
And that's an important detail, because there are, again, we were talking earlier about how there are some people out there who are unbelievably talented, but their ability to read the tea leaves and understand like what's going on here and sort of call on their arc of their experience and employ the material, the tone, that's a unique skill.
Yeah, no, it really is. And corporate is a very unique market. And there's a lot of guys and gals who do very well in certain markets, performing arts centers, or everything from comedy clubs or cruise ships, and it just doesn't work with corporate, because you really need to know your audience. You need to know what's going on in the company with their corporate culture, what that's like. Even just things like we don't. I did Culver's. It was again just.
Oh, the ice cream.
Butterburgers. They pay me in Butterburgers. But they even said like they're not attendees. right? They're guests because they call it a reunion because it's like a family reunion, right? So if you say, hey, all these it's great to see all these attendees, it's like that's a little tone deaf because you're not understanding. They don't call it. It's a reunion. Like they think of themselves as families. They have this the grill masters kind of competition where they have these grills, and it's like the family barbecue, and that's a very different vibe.
Yeah,
right?
there was something you mentioned earlier. We were talking. So I booked Jeff into a telecommunications company, and one of the things you were kind of calling back on is we appreciate your input on the surveys, and we appreciate your perspective on X, Y, Z. Not the company, or not they appreciate your input. It was
that's a good point.
Really positioning yourself as an embedded resource and sort of woven into the fabric of their culture.
I think as a corporate MC, one of the best compliments you can get is, you're after.
What office are you in?
I get all the time, right? I get, so you work for AT&T? Nope. Oh, so what store are you in? FedEx office? What store?
That is a huge compliment.
For GMs, they think that, and I'm like, I say thank you. I'm not, but wow, you know the language.
And you're not exactly. You're not pulling a fast one. You just seem really, really embedded.
Yeah, which I think that's the goal, right? When you're a hired gun, right? How seamlessly can you integrate into their corporate culture and their event mission and vision?
Of course. Well, so for anybody out there on the interwebs that's looking for something just unbelievably fun, I think the thing that each time I see you perform, my stomach not only hurts from laughing, but the physical performance is also amazing. But I think what really puts the audience at ease is that you look like you're having a phenomenal time, and you look like you're really, really having fun, and you're just totally relaxed.
Thank you for saying that. That is honestly the truth. I always say towards the end of my show, I say, if I'm having a good time up here, you're having a good time up there, and that's kind of the philosophy that I've always had since I was a kid doing shows in my kitchen. I just try to come out and just goof around, have fun. I think the audiences are smarter than people might think. They can tell, right? They know if the performer is tense, is uncomfortable, they're not enjoying themselves. You can't phone that in, right? It's that authentic. When you can tell, like, man, he loves what he does. She is having a great time there. Whoever it is, you can't help but smile. It's infectious. It's contagious.
They all start having a good time.
Exactly.
Well, this guy is the utility infielder, a host, performer. I think the event host role of being kind of the connective tissue through a longer conference. You really shine in that setting. But just a lot of tricks in the Santa bag that you get to haul around. So thanks for doing a great job and representing us so well.
Thank you, Rich. A pleasure.
Yeah, you're looking for a funny, talented guy. That's your man. Cheers. Woo! See you soon.
Thanks, Rich.